to have.
Yes, Master.
Hey guys, welcome back. Since it's Monday, I'm going to be doing another top 5, but instead of counting down, I'm just going to give you a list in no particular order. Since yesterday was Father's Day, I'm going to be highlighting 5 fathers in Star Wars. Now, just to be clear, this is going to be new canon and not legends or old canon. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. We are starting with Ephraim Bridger. Now, for those of you who don't know, Ephraim Bridger is Ezra Bridger's father. We don't really see him or hear his voice at all. We only see pictures of him and how Ezra described him. His strengths seem to be a strong sense of justice and pretty much a strong devotion to family, trying to balance those two. He's both a freedom fighter and a father, so he needs to find a way to balance those two. And apparently his influence was a really good one, because between his influence and the influence of Kanan Jarrus, Ezra Bridger ended up growing into a very honorable and dedicated young man to the cause. Well, not only to the cause, but to his Jedi training and to his friends, and he also found a way to balance personal feelings with the job he had to do. So that speaks well of Ephraim, what kind of a father he was to Ezra. The next father I want to talk about is sort of a sad subject. That's Han Solo. Honestly, I do not blame Han in the least for the person that Ben turned out to be. I agree with Leia that it was the bad influence of Snoke getting a hold of Ben at such a young age, and a combination of factors that drove him toward the dark side. From what I've read so far in the canon books, Han seems like an extremely loving and dedicated father. He tries so hard, but he constantly feels like he's out of his element, like he doesn't know what the heck he's doing, and at times he just gets itchy feet and wants to fly around the galaxy, but still wants to spend time with his son, so he's a conflicted sort of guy. But I give him an A for effort. He really does try very, very hard. The third father on this list is actually an adopted father. That's Bail Organa, who is the adopted father of Princess Leia. Bail, from all accounts, has seemed like a very, very good father. Again, like Ephraim Bridger, he's dedicated to a cause, but is also trying to balance his family life. Leia spoke of him in the book Bloodline, saying that as busy as he was, he always had time to get down on the floor and play blocks with his little girl. And even just in the expression on his face, from the minute he brings little baby Leia home to his wife Brea, they're just absolutely in love with this little girl, and Leia has never said anything that would indicate Bail was anything other than an excellent father. And of course, Leia, look what she grew into thanks to mostly her adoptive father's influence. I would say he was at least 50% of the reason why Leia turned out the way she did. I mean, she's strong and compassionate and dedicated and fearless, and she's just... that is just, in the Star Wars universe at least, I think Bail Organa is almost like a model father. Like, okay, this is, if you're gonna be busy, this is how you do it. That's also one of the reasons why Bail Organa is one of the most underrated characters in Star Wars. Next on the list of fathers in Star Wars is Galen Erso. Now, Galen does have strengths and weaknesses. He's been related to Oppenheimer, or the person who created the A-bomb. They, first of all, they started off all gung-ho and believed that what they were doing was what was right for the world, or in this case, the galaxy. But over time, they saw the things that their weapon was going to be used for, and it tore them apart. But thanks to, at least in Galen's part, thanks to the threat of the safety of his family and the safety of himself, he had to keep going, and the way he dealt with that was obviously putting the flaw into the Death Star. Now, when Jyn Erso is little, it seems like her and her father have a very, very close relationship. Before the event that basically shattered their family, it seemed like she was Daddy's little girl. She was very special to him. I mean, he had this sweet little nickname for her, and it's just Galen Erso I see as a really conflicted character. I have nothing but sympathy for him, and a little bit of respect too, because he loved his daughter so much. He was basically willing to give up everything for her. And that's just another hallmark of a really good father, is being self-sacrificial and putting the safety and life of your children far ahead of yours. Finally, the last father on the list of 5 fathers in Star Wars is none other than Anakin Skywalker. While some might argue he's a perfect example of what not to do, and in some instances I agree, Anakin's dedication to family is both his greatest strength and his greatest weakness. His attachment to Padme in the wrong way is what led him down the dark path of trying to save everybody, even if it might be beyond his power, trying to further his power so he doesn't have to worry about the ones he loves. He seems like somebody who's a little bit overprotective, a little bit paranoid. He's desperately afraid of losing people. Of course, given his background, I can't say I blame him for that. I mean, good grief, his mother died in his arms, and if you put yourself in his position, I don't know if there's very many people that would react differently than how he did. But I'm not excusing him. But I get the impression that since Anakin was preparing for the birth of a little one, that's the angle he was taking, and it's okay, I gotta have a baby to take care of. And honestly, he had by the time he had become Darth Vader, he had no idea how to be a father. I mean, he did end up caring about his son, and that's why he couldn't kill him. But it's another very, very conflicted character being pulled toward one side and toward another side. First, he saw Luke as a tool to help overthrow the Emperor. But then as time went on, he came to care about his son, and it hit him as like, this is the only family I've got left. I better do something to protect him. So that's why, I mean, his love for Luke has ended, what ultimately turned him back to the light side. And I get the impression that if Anakin had not turned to the dark side, he probably would have been a really good father. Seeing how he is with Ahsoka, sort of parental, a little bit protective, but still sort of letting her learn things, I think Anakin would have been a fairly good father if he hadn't turned to the dark side. I mean, nobody can argue that he's definitely, totally dedicated to family. I mean, that's a Skywalker thing. You get between me and my family and you are in deep soup. But anyway, I'm sorry I wasn't better articulated. That is my list of 5 fathers in Star Wars. I hope you appreciated it, and I hope all of the fathers out there watching this had a good Father's Day. I hope the children out there watching this either gave their fathers a good Father's Day, or if you happen to not have a father, to direct your attention toward a father figure in your life and tell them that you care about them. Whether it's a grandparent or an uncle or just a very special friend that you see as your father, just, don't forget to tell them that you care. I'm sure they'll really appreciate that. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video and you want to see more G-rated Star Wars content, go ahead and click that little subscription button down below. Tomorrow I'm going to be looking at the results of the latest poll for what prop to build next. I think I've sort of been forced into a corner as to what exactly I'm going to be building, because I have the materials for one and I do not have any of the materials for the other. So if I decide to build that, it's going to be a couple of months before I can save up money and get a few more supplies. Question of the day. Who do you think is the best example of a father or father figure in Star Wars? Go ahead and post a comment below. Oh, guys, guess what? I just checked my YouTube channel, and I will show you in a minute. Remember how at the beginning of at the beginning of the year, yeah, I'm all right, I mentioned my goal was to get up to 1,500 subscribers by the end of the year. Nothing too drastic. I started the year with just a touch under 1,000, so that would mean gaining a little over 500. Well, guess what?
But, dang. There we go. Look at that. I don't know how you can see it, but 1,502 subscribers. So, the year's not even half over. And I have surpassed my goal.
That being said, let's see if I can add another 500 by the end of the year. I'll give you an incentive to get me there soon. I haven't yet figured something out yet, but maybe it'll be a really, really crazy build. Maybe I'll go somewhere or do something really crazy and Star Warsy to celebrate. So, let's see if we can hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of 2018. Can we do it? We'll see. See you guys later.